Hey y'all, so I am sitting in my chair. I just got done filming a video, which y'all probably gonna see after this, hence why I have the same shirt on. I didn't change yet, but let me get you right here. This is it. So, God, if y'all don't know already, if I haven't explained it, I think I did. God gave me a vision a couple weeks ago. He told me to meet him at this reservoir that's kind of near my house, and he said to just come and be with him there. So I did. As I'm in the car pulling up to the spot, I'm in my car, and God gives me a vision of women, and they are underground. They're in this tunnel. And the way that they're in the tunnel now is not the way that they came into the tunnel, right? So the way that these ladies came into the tunnel, came in kind of like raggedy, kind of bummish, kind of sweatpants and sweatshirts, all that like that. And then as they went through this tunnel, there came a point in the tunnel where they had to cross over. And when they crossed over this certain point, they looked like money. Hair done, nails done, outfits, everything fit to the T, right? So as they're walking in this tunnel, they get to this point where they can't walk anymore. It's like this hard piece of rock right there. So the two women in the front are like, we gotta hit it. They start hitting it, dirt's coming down. Hit it again, dirt's coming down. Hit it again, dirt's coming down. She says, we gotta keep hitting it. So she keeps hitting it, right? They keep hitting this hard piece of rock and it falls again, but this time a little tiny peak of light comes through this time. So, ooh, I'm trying to get through this without crying. Hit it again, and this tiny peak of light comes through, and they were like, okay, we have to keep hitting it. And they're hitting it, and they're hitting it, and the light, the little hole isn't getting any bigger. The girl turns around to the rest of us, and I'm there, and I recognize a couple people in there, but I don't know everybody. She turns around to the rest of us, and she says, we have to hit it together. So all the women collectively come together and start banging this wall, and dirt's coming down and banging the wall, and the hole isn't getting any bigger. And we kept banging it and kept banging it, and then eventually the whole wall like came down, and it was just a bunch of hard soil. So it made a hole. When we climbed out of the hole, we were in the middle of the woods somewhere. And I mean tall trees. I never seen trees this tall. They were so tall, but they were so green and so luscious, and they just filled the woods. So when we got out, everybody looked around at each other, and the one of the girls that was at the front of the group, she looked at everybody and she said, "Everybody knows what they need to do, right? Everybody knows where they need to go, right?" She looked around and nobody said anything. So all of us just started looking out at the woods, and we turned to each other one more time, and she asked, "Everybody knows what they need to do." Immediately after she said that, one of the girls grabs one of the other girls by her wrist, and they take off running into the forest. And it started the woods, for whatever it is, it started this chain reaction, because then everybody started grabbing somebody. I remember I grabbed somebody and we just took off running. Some women went by themselves, but somebody had somebody, or they just went by themselves. And we took off running in all these random directions. And when I asked God what that was, he was like, it's his women. It's God's women. We had to go underground for a minute. We had to go through some things. We had to get, proofed. Like, we had to get unpruned. We had to get ready. And while we're at that point, we have crossed over into looking like excellence, looking like the way that God wants us to look. So when we came out of this hole, the hole represented the pruning, the proofing, the getting in our word, the dealing with trauma, the starting the ministries, starting what it is God wants us to do. Some of y'all have had to move, and I don't mean down the street, I mean move across the country, move to a different state, start a new job, start a new chapter. That's what being underground in this tunnel represented for the women. So when we came out, and one of the girls, I believe she was like a leader in it, when she looked at us and she said, everybody knows where they need to go, everybody knows what they need to do. That meant while we were in that space, we were prepping and preparing for the moment when we got out, because we already knew what we came to do. So when I asked God what that meant, he was like, those are my women. Y'all have been tucked away, hidden, out of sight, out of mind. And I've been prepping you for this moment, because when you get out, it's work to be done. So this resonates with me because I just started my ministry. When I entered in, when we had to do quarantine and all that, I wasn't thinking about a ministry. But that's how strategic God is. Everything that we think is for nothing is always for something. Us being tucked away and in the house was for something. A lot of you can agree that your faith has excelled since you've been in the house. Because we can go outside. It's excelled. Because God knew we needed that time away with him and to experience some things so that when we popped out again, we was going to pop out and we were going to do it right. All right. So that dream was the vision was a representation of God showing what's about to happen. A lot of you, God has been telling you to start your ministries, start your businesses, start your YouTube channels, and start a lot of things that you're like, how do I do that? How am I going to get this? And how am I going to do that? All these if and buts. Do what you can, show God you're for real, and watch him work a miracle within you. Y'all, because when he told me to start a ministry, I said, I don't have anything credible behind me to be starting no ministry. Like, all the girls I know that have a ministry got, something behind it. I didn't have anything. He didn't ask me about that. He said, start it. God put you in this earth because you carry something that is needed amongst the people, whether you recognize it now or not. The more we fight the direction that he gives us, the more individuals are going to miss out on potentially receiving salvation. Y'all, we're here. I don't know if y'all want to hear it or not. I'm going to tell you. We are in Revelations. We're here. We are here. We are the generation that's going to be going out to get the end time harvest. Did we ask to be here? No. Are we here? Yes. Can we do anything about it? What we can do is be obedient to the call. There's a wealth transfer coming as well. And that's why God is telling you, get your business together, start your YouTube, start your channel, start with what you have. I don't want you to have everything together, but I want you to start with what you have so you can show me, all right, you're for real about this. Now I'm going to give you the next step to everything. But if you aren't obedient to the original call, I can't help you. God isn't going to be out here helping people that's not trying to help themselves, honestly. Honestly, in this time, he's bent on his end time harvest. And those of us who know him and know what we need to be doing, that thing you don't want to do, you got to do it because that's for the end time harvest. It's for you too, but it's for the end time harvest. At the end of the day, think about it like this. When you die, and God asks you, when I told you to do X, Y, and Z, why didn't you do it? You can't say because you were worried about somebody looking at you the wrong way or what people might think of you and this and this and this and that. You can't do that. You're accountable for what God has told you to start, what God has told you to do, and what God has told you to perform. So if you're comfortable with getting up there on the day of judgment, pointing fingers at everybody, by all means, go do it. But I know I'm not going to hell because I'm scared about what somebody thinks about me. I'm just at that point in my life. And I realize it might take some people to get to that point, but I'm at that point in my life. I'm not going to hell for nobody. I'm not going to hell for nobody. I don't care about y'all feelings like that no more. I used to, but I don't. But I had to get on here and share that message because God said, my women are coming out. Men are coming out too, but this is specifically for the women. Women, get ready. And another word that I don't know if he's allowed for me to release right now, but some of y'all are going to have to hear this too. I'm going to say group 1 and group 2. Group 1, get ready. Group 2, prepare to pivot. You've been in control of your life for some time and God has been knocking at you, trying to get your attention, and you ain't been listening. You get ready to pivot, okay? So that is all I had to share with you all today. This is a different type of video, but I kind of like it. Let me know down below if the Lord has given you any visions about this particular thing, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye.